Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
It's good to see you guys.
Yeah, welcome back.
This is our off-site studio, which means we're not downstairs, we're upstairs. So it's good to have you. It's good to see you. We're gonna take a moment and let everyone catch on.
Yeah, come on in.
I just saw the notification go out to everybody. So we have one of our most fearless and diehard and dedicated fans. You go, Amy.
I didn't think she'd be able to watch tonight. She was at Tiger Stadium.
Stop it.
Yeah, she was watching the Marlins and the Tigers.
Come on.
At least an hour ago when I looked. Well, I didn't look to see where she was, but the game was 3-1 in top of the fourth. So
Who was up?
Marlins.
Ah.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. Oh, she's still at the game.
Watching us. Put us on the Jumbotron. Amy.
Jumbotron. That's
Hi,
awesome.
Gary. Hi, Gary. So we'll just give a moment or two to get everybody on. And just, Doc, why don't you take us away and recap what we talked about last week.
So last week we talked about dealing with daily stress. And we talked about the biological aspects of it. We talked about different stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline. We talked about beta endorphins and how those things add to our stress, like cortisol. If we're stressful, it increases. And if we're doing certain things right, taking care of ourselves, we can increase beta endorphins. And those type of hormones help us, biochemicals in our body, help us feel better.
Yeah.
And we talked about a lot of stress-reducing activities that we could do. Some had to do with deep breathing.
I just remember kissing.
Ah,
all I
yeah,
remember.
you remember that?
If you missed last episode,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
talked about kissing a lot.
Kissing. If you kiss your wife a lot, there's studies that show that kiss each other regularly, they increase beta endorphins and they feel good about themselves and also feel good in terms of being part of that relationship and bonding, feeling secure in that relationship. So, hey, first thing I did when I saw my wife, gave her a kiss.
I like grossing my kids out. I like grossing my kids out.
Yeah, that's funny.
Stress can get you. But we got a big topic today.
So, today's topic is about worrying.
Stop worrying.
Stop worrying. Hey, okay. I'm gonna give you a clue. Famous song hit. I think it was top of the charts for a long time.
Bob Marley, right?
No. Well.
He made it famous, I think. No.
The name Bob is in it. Is in his name.
No.
In 1988, created a song, 4-letter title.
Don't worry, be happy.
Don't worry, be happy.
But you know what?
Who recreated it in 1988?
It's a single guy.
That's right.
I can see the video right now on
Bob
Carlisle. I don't know.
I wrote it down.
Come on.
I'm gonna find it.
You dropping trivia on me.
Somebody's gonna shoot it to us.
You dropping trivia
Somebody's
on me
gonna
here.
shoot us.
But you know what?
Oh, I just put.
Did you put this?
No, listen what I wrote. I put Bobby Worry, be happy. I put his first name. Don't worry.
Bobby McFerrin.
Bobby McFerrin.
1988.
Did he recreate that song? Was that originally by Marley?
Label you my artist, simple pleasure.
I thought it was Bob McFerrin. Bobby McFerrin did that song.
You may be right.
Yeah.
Because there's no Bob Marley here.
Nope.
All I know is, what was that cartoon, that animated movie with Will Smith? He was a shark slayer. Ooh. Somebody's got it right. Don't worry, be happy. That was a big part of the movie, so I'll figure that out.
That was the big part of the movie?
Yeah, that song
that
was a large part. I think that was one of the theme songs.
Okay.
Shark, he was a shark. It was a good movie though. It was a good movie. So worry, be happy.
And it was, top of the charts for a long time. People were singing it all the time, and there's a lot to it. But the simple phrase, "Don't worry, be happy," sounds simple.
Yeah.
But there's some work that has to be done, because people who do worry a lot really are struggling with worrying. And when we, from a quick definition, worrying is just the perception about something that might happen.
Yep.
It's the perception of something that might happen. And most of the time, when people worry, they're worrying about something that's going to happen and it's not going to turn out well. And so when that occurs, there becomes a recurring, rephrasing, just this ongoing dialogue with oneself about having things go wrong. Last week we talked about fear stories.
Yes, I
that
love
we
that.
can create our own fear stories.
Yep.
And it becomes a running dialogue with us. And we're going to have some strategies tonight to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to underestimate the power that worrying can have on people. We already talked about the stress it can have, but I want to really talk about the power of being able to recognize it, how to stop it, whether you do it by yourself or garner support from a loved one, a family member, what have you, to help stop that. Because there's one of the things in here that we're going to talk about is that worrying is a complete waste of time.
Wow.
It's a complete waste of time. And so let's move into it.
Let's go.
Okay?
Let's
and we need to know that most things that we think about that's not going to turn out well, or we think is going to turn out bad, most of them never happen.
I want this to be running in the background.
Most of the things you worry about do not happen. They don't. There are studies, plenty of studies, and I read 2 in particular. But every time I heard someone quoted on YouTube about worrying, they were saying somewhere around 95% of the things that we worry about, they don't happen.
It's useless.
It's useless.
Worry is useless. Run that, everything that we talk about, make sure that's running in the back of your head. Worry is useless. So we're not trying to convince you
That's right.
not to worry. We're giving you strategies to get out of worry, but make sure you keep that in mind. That stuff is just useless.
Studies after studies after studies after studies show that 95% of the things that we worry about don't come to fruition.
Wow.
For example, so when subjects who participate in studies, when they're asked to write down what their worries are, their potential catastrophes and the things they worry about the most, the research shows that 85% of those things don't happen.
Wow.
And when they do happen, it happened among 15% of the subjects in those studies. Okay? So let's say we have 100 people. It doesn't happen to 85% of them. 15% it does happen to. But what they found out was, amongst those 15%, they realized when it did happen that they can still handle it. That it wasn't as catastrophic as they thought.
Right.
So even though, because we know things don't always work out,
Right.
but worrying about it doesn't change it.
No.
And that's the one thing we have to understand. Worrying about it doesn't change it, but you might think that worrying about it.
Yeah.
Things
We
are going to
convince
change.
ourselves.
Absolutely, right.
Convince ourselves.
Because we try to come up with. I truly believe that when people worry about something, they worry. They try to find the perfect situation to move forward.
Yeah.
And there's no such thing. Like when you have an assignment, a school assignment, a job application, college applications. What if the committee this? What if the committee that? What if they think, what if I just do one more thing? Well, if you do one more thing, guess what? You're going to think about, oh, maybe if I can do one more thing.
One more thing.
And then one more thing.
Yep.
And then one more. And it's just it's a never-ending dialogue until you finally say, I'm done.
Right.
I'm done.
Right. I wonder if the other part of it, another aspect of it, is that it makes us feel responsible. That we're holding on to something that matters. A car payment is due tomorrow and we haven't been able to pay it.
Okay.
We are responsible by worrying about it. We may not go to work,
Right.
We may not have budgeted our money properly,
Right.
but there's a part of us that feels like, well, if I worry about it enough, nobody can come to me and say,
Wow.
you're being irresponsible.
Okay, we're going to skip to number 3.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I'm coming back to number 2. You
I
don't
didn't
know
go
what
through
number
his
2
notes.
is.
Okay, all right.
Number 3 is this. Or the next one we want to talk about is when we worry, there's a notion that when we worry about things, guess what? That we care about it.
Yeah.
It's not true.
Right?
The more we worry about something does not mean we care about it. We think we care about it. But the truth of the matter is, worrying does not equal care. Worrying equals fear. Worrying equals fear. And until we really understand that it's not that you care about it, because I want to be able to take care of this, I want to be able to take it. It's just not true.
Yeah, the words are powerful. What comes to my mind is that phrase, I'm worried sick.
Yes. And that's true. People can't worry themselves till
worried
they're
sick.
sick. People can't do that.
I can be sick on my own. I
That's
don't
right.
want to be worried sick.
That's right.
To be consumed with what happens and what doesn't happen.
So basically, with that being said, worrying is a complete waste of time. It's a complete waste of time because it has nothing to do with care. It has everything to do with fear.
With fear. Rooted in fear. It's all about fear.
It's rooted in fear.
I deal with fear.
So next thing we want to talk about
Come on.
is understanding that worrying is a symptom of something. Okay?
Juicy. Slow down on that one
It's a
right
symptom.
there.
It's a symptom of
Worry
something.
is a symptom
Yes.
of something.
Yeah. And depending on who we are, a lot of it has to do with confidence in ourselves. Again, we're trying to paint. Listen, there's some great pieces of art out there in the world. There's a great artist, and I think of our life as this continuing. I don't know if that's the right word. I might not have said that right, but a continual development of ourselves. We're always evolving into something, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what the final painting is going to look like when I'm done.
Yep.
It's going to be a collage of a whole bunch of things. And I really believe we get to a point where we think that we worry so much because we're not confident in ourselves.
Right.
And that confidence, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I'm going to get this job. I don't think I'm going to get accepted into this school. I don't think they're going to like me. I don't think I'm really good at it. If something goes wrong, I'm not going to be able to cope. And I teach people who do public speaking, just not formally, but people who worry about speaking.
Right.
I said, the only person that may realize you make a mistake is
It's usually you.
it's usually yourself. That's
Yeah.
it. Nobody else knows.
No.
Nobody else knows. I'll use a cue when I make a mistake. And that cue is just to kind of get me back on track to what I'm talking about. And that is, I'll say, hey, I just thought about something. I didn't think about anything at all.
Right.
I knew I just made a mistake and I'm regrouping.
Yeah.
But we're really the only ones that know that we make mistakes.
That's right.
And
That's right.
until we do something that's, in the public
That's
and people
right.
understand. But listen, there's nothing that we can't really fix when we make a mistake. I'll say, you know what? I made a mistake there. Let me go back and fix it.
Absolutely.
Oh, I said something wrong.
Yep.
Let me go back and fix it.
Yep.
And it can be done easily, long as we realize that it's not the end of us.
No.
It's just a simple mistake, and we don't have to worry about it. But again, worrying is an energy zapper. It just zaps all of our energy because there are some things that we do want to control. It's like when my wife gets sick. If something happens to her, I want to be able to take care of her.
That's
right.
right.
And I'm sure there are plenty of people. There are people out there now that worry about their loved ones because their loved ones are sick, right? And we don't necessarily know. I mean, listen, with life, there's death, and with death, there's life. So one day we're gonna go,
Right.
right? But we may not necessarily control it. But what is worrying gonna do about it?
That's right.
Worry's not gonna do anything. Time is going to pass.
Let me just mess with you right now. If
Okay.
you worry a lot, just think. Every day you wake up is a day closer to your death.
Wow.
So you can either see it like I'm closer to my dying or am I closer to my living? I mean, this is just reality, folks.
Yeah.
This is just reality. You know what I like to do is I like to paint myself
Okay.
so that people see what I'm supposed to deliver.
Okay.
So I do a lot of public speaking. So if I'm standing in front of somebody, know your audience.
Okay.
Now, I'm not going to teach you how to public speak, but what I'm saying is how to paint yourself. Is that know the people you're talking to. So if you're just talking to a family member, or you have a hard conversation that you have to have with your boss or an employee,
Yeah.
is that you have to sit down and decide ahead of time. Okay? This is how you deal with insecurities. And Margaret, you made a great point. Everything is tied to our insecurities.
Okay.
Is that you put your insecurities aside and you paint the picture of what you're supposed to do. So if you're going to deal with an employee, you got to have your facts in order.
That's right.
And not only your facts, but you have to have your emotional, I think we talked about this, intelligence in order. You have to know how to deliver it.
That's right.
You've got to know what's going on in their lives and in your life. And then you paint that picture. So when you come into that meeting or you talk to that your teenager,
Yep.
I got 3 of them now.
Yep.
You have to know where they're coming from or have an idea from where they're coming and paint yourself so they see you
That's right.
that way. So it moves you past your insecurities, and this is where you become responsible and say, you know what? I'm going to deal with worry, and this is something personal that I worry with. I want to make sure they see me the way the conversation's supposed to go.
That's right.
I do my best to do that. You don't know every single
That's right.
time. But have that confidence. Go into a job interview and say, you know what? I'm supposed to be here. I want it. I'm supposed to be here. A, B, C, and D because I did my homework. You may be as insecure as crazy. You may be shaking inside.
That's right.
Don't let them see you sweat.
Wow, that's powerful. Listen, I coached high school football. Mm-hmm. I coached 9th grade. I coached the freshman team about 12, 13 years ago. That was such a fun time watching these kids grow. And I'm going to tell you, I had a kid on my team, and he was my quarterback. And I've never met a 13, 14-year-old who has so much faith in what he did. People used to say he was arrogant. And he wasn't necessarily my best athlete. He was pretty good. He necessarily wasn't my best athlete. But when he understood what he had to do, he had so much confidence that I said, you know what? That's my starting quarterback.
That's right.
Because guess what he's going to do in every play? What do quarterbacks do in every play? They touch what?
That football.
They touch the football in every play.
Yeah.
They touch. So I want the guy who has the utmost confidence in himself.
Yep.
And listen, at times when I would ask him, I said, how you feel? He said, I feel great. I said, do you ever doubt? He said, yeah, but I don't show it.
That's right.
I said, okay, great. That's all I need to understand. You're not going to show it, right? And we're going to talk about something my uncle just talked about positive energy. We're going to get to that in about 10 minutes, about positive energy and how important it is.
That's absolutely.
And on a daily basis, because listen, people who have difficult time with worrying, it zaps their energy. Guess what they tend to have a tough time doing? Getting out of bed. They're tired. Think about this from this regard. If there is something that you don't think is going to turn out well, are you going to run towards it with great excitement? Absolutely not.
Right.
If I think something is going to fail, I'm going to go hesitantly.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to put a lot of energy into it, and I'm going to doubt everything I do moving forward into it.
Yep.
But we have to recognize that some of the things that we're doing, preparing for that, we have to do with positive energy and have great insight into what our skills and abilities are at that particular time.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about that more in a few minutes.
The question I ask myself all the
Okay.
time, what is the worst thing that can happen? Break it down.
Listen, I got my notes right here, right? And one of them says, what is the worst thing that can happen?
I raced cars for years.
Okay.
And I would say, what's the worst thing that can happen? I could get killed.
Okay.
I could actually get killed.
Okay.
So what I did was,
Okay.
I did everything I possibly could to minimize that risk.
That.
And so when I got in that car, I knew that X%
That's right.
chance I could have been going down the track 200 miles an hour in some aluminum foil made car and know that I could just die right there. Minimize your risk and think about that. You know, sometimes I get nervous when we come on here.
Okay.
But I think to myself, what's the worst that can happen?
Might make a mistake, but guess what we're going to do?
I'm going to edit it, or I'm going to say
We're
I'm
going to
sorry.
edit it. We're going to fix it.
That's it.
We'll come back next week and say, hey, we made a mistake last week. And I have no problem doing that.
You know, our lighting in our first 6 shows was terrible.
Awful.
And I hate it. I'm leery about putting it on YouTube, but I'm going to because I don't want anyone to see it. But you know what? It's good content. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Someone's going to say, oh, I don't want to listen to them because the light is so bright.
Right.
You know, so be it.
Our content, I think, is good.
I think it's excellent.
Like, good light or bad light. We'll improve on it.
Yeah, we're working on it.
But for some of you folk, and listen, I say this with great confidence. I wasn't always confident about things. I watched some of my teammates in college. I was definitely more confident on the track than I was in football until my junior year in football.
Yeah.
Junior year in college, I was a lot more confident. And again, it was almost that borderline of arrogance. And I wasn't arrogant. I just thought, hey, if I'm going to go against you, you're going to line up against me.
That's right.
I do not want you to see the fear in my eyes.
No.
I was nervous for
No.
sure, but I was not worried about getting beat by you. I was going to beat you
That's right.
every play.
If you put in the work,
You put in work.
at the end of the day, you can put your head down on the bed and say, you know what? I gave my best. You can't lose.
That's right.
You don't lose. You may lose the game,
Ah.
but inside,
That's right.
you've convinced yourself
That's right.
that you can protect this.
That's right.
So that you can go to that next level.
If you're struggling with the ideas of worrying and things not going to turn out well for you, okay, fine. But listen, eventually you got to put a stop to it. And one way to do it is start thinking about changing your thinking around to understanding how you got to where you currently are.
Yeah,
You got there in your current ability.
that's right.
And if you need to fix some things, fix them.
That's right.
But understand that you are already equipped.
That's right.
You're already equipped.
Unless you're living under a bridge right now in a cardboard box,
Right.
you're equipped. And I can't say you wouldn't be watching us because some people got cell phones underneath the cardboard.
Why not?
But let me tell you something. That is right.
And
I
you-
agree 100% with that.
And you will be okay.
Yep.
You know, I think my mom has said this several times. I know my grandmother said this. My nana said this several times. And when I never heard it, I heard people quote her say something like, "Well, you know, what happened? You know, why is everybody so miserable? What happened?" And they would say, "Did somebody die?"
Yeah.
And like,
Yep.
no. Oh, then we're fine. Nobody's dead. Let's go. You know.
Yep.
Hey, listen. Go in with confidence. Yep. I'd rather you go in with confidence than go in worrying, because again, worrying constricts your thoughts, your ideas, and your behavior. So understand that you are you going to go through tough times?
Yeah, absolutely.
Check it off. Yes. Have you been through tough times? Check it off. Yes. Will tough times come in the future? Yes. Mm-hmm. So you might as well go in with confidence.
If you come in with worry, you're already starting in a negative.
That's right.
Keep that in mind. Before you even begin, you have the option to either start at the 0 mark or ahead of the game, because you don't know if your opponent is using that same skill set.
That's right.
Now, we're talking about a competitive mindset right here, because everything is a competition. Everything is Paul says in the Bible, run the race. It's throughout the Bible. There is a competition, because if you don't occupy, someone else will.
That's right.
Someone else will.
Hey, my brother Nate said to me a long time ago. He said, if you don't do it, whatever it is that you might be planning to do, somebody else will do it.
Yep.
And you have a testimony about that, about some pooper scooper that you almost created that you never followed through with. And there's probably many reasons why you didn't do that. But listen, if you don't do something, somebody else will do it. Somebody else will definitely take your place.
Yep.
Here's another thing. What do you think worry is the opposite of? Give me one word. What is worry the opposite of?
Well, man, confidence.
Faith.
That's good.
And the two cannot coexist with each other.
That's good.
The two cannot coexist.
And you know what?
with each
I
other.
want to make this clear, because I'm the preacher here in the duo. Is faith isn't simply God. It's in God. But faith is, I'm believing in something that I haven't seen yet. Period.
That's right.
Period.
That's right.
That's what faith means. So I'm believing in a
That's right.
God that I don't see, and I'm believing in
right.
an outcome that I'm preparing for that I have yet to see. So don't shut your ears. Don't close everything off, because even George Michael sang, "You gotta have faith."
Gotta have faith. I love it. We have quoted 2 songs tonight.
2 songs,
That's
baby.
awesome.
I got no
And-
musical bone in my body.
Neither do I. Neither do I. So without faith, we're going to have worry.
Yeah.
But without worry, your faith increases. Your faith increases. So listen, why not run the race with faith, with great faith?
Yeah.
It's just awesome to
It's
me.
a choice.
It's, oh my gosh.
It's a choice.
I love it.
I mean, the way you're putting it, it's becoming so simple to me now in my head.
Yeah. It's
It's a
listen,
simple choice.
simple
Is it?
but profound.
Absolutely.
You can listen. I'm gonna talk about my daughter for a minute. She is in the process, is beginning the process of submitting college applications. Right? She's like, "Daddy, what if I don't get in?" We always teach our kids Plan B, Plan C, Plan D. She's really set on going to a certain school, and we are her best cheerleader.
Absolutely.
We're out there, we're
She's
cheering
brilliant.
for her.
She'll get
but
into
you know
it.
what she has to do? She's got to be her own cheerleader.
That's right.
At the end of the day, before she goes to sleep, she'll be her own cheerleader. And last night we had a conversation. She said, "You know what? I just have to let it happen." I said, "Absolutely."
That's it.
She does well in school. She did well on her SATs. She's a good speaker. She's done TED Youth Talk. She's done all these things. And what I wanted to recognize are the things that she's already built in her ability and in her skill set.
Mm-hmm.
And those are things that are going to carry her forward.
Absolutely.
Right? And understand that if she doesn't get into the school she wants to, there's plenty of schools that want her, that are going to want
Absolutely.
accept her. And we want her to go. We want her to
Yeah.
go to the school of her choice.
Absolutely.
Of her desire, her first choice. So,
As long as it's close.
and the nice thing about it, yeah, that too.
I'm the uncle speaking.
That's right, the
what
uncle
I'm-
speaking.
That's right.
So the
that's
nice
right.
thing about it is, she's understanding now. I am starting to worry too much about something that I cannot control.
No.
You can't control the committee. You cannot control.
No.
You cannot control people who may even think negative about you.
No.
If you made a mistake, go back and apologize. It's like people worrying about what other people think.
Let me tell you a secret. There's somebody out there that doesn't like you. You just gotta get that in you, and you don't persevere on it. You don't think on it, but understand. Don't be shocked.
That's right. Don't be shocked.
When someone just looks at you ugly, I was out today, running around all day today, and I had this guy just look at me nasty. I'm like, what did I do to you?
I got flipped off today.
Did you? I didn't do nothing.
I got the bird.
I may have done something.
I
was
got
a
the
pain.
bird.
I'd have apologized if I had known.
In the last 5 weeks, we have an app on our phone that tracks our driving record, right? So I asked my wife about 5-6 weeks ago, how often to look at my analytics. And she said one time I was driving at, this is embarrassing, 87 miles an hour. I said, that is not true. I said, that's absolutely not
Liar,
true.
computer, liar.
Computer, liar, pants on fire. But I said, wow, I have to be more conscious because I'm trying to teach my daughters how to, listen, girls, I don't want to pay tickets. Well, I'm not paying, I guess I am paying tickets because I'm still pay them stuff. Essentially, I'm still paying unless they pay out of the money they work for.
Yep.
But I ultimately going to pay because they're under my insurance.
Yep.
Long story short, I decided when I get on the highway now, cruise control, 70 miles an hour. I can't believe how many people just zip by me, right?
Yeah.
And so today I'm driving at 69.7. You? I hope that wasn't you.
Forgive me.
No, it wasn't the Hummer that flipped me off. I got flipped off and driving 70 miles an hour, and I was in the far right lane.
Come on. Come on.
I said, whatever. What am I going to
What are
do
you
about
gonna
it?
do about it? People won't like you, so just put that out of your mind. When they do something to you, just keep going.
That's right.
Don't worry. Be happy.
Ask me why my hands were up.
Why? You surrender it. Look at that, baby. That's why we got this going on right now, man.
Surrender to your worry.
Yep.
And focus on the things you can control.
Yep.
If you can control an essay you're writing, proofread it. Have someone else proofread it. Ask your teacher if need be for an extended time. but look it over, edit it, control the things that you can
That's
control.
perfect.
Surrender to worry, because again, it's a waste of time. You can't change it.
Yep.
You cannot do anything about worrying other than worry itself, and it's a waste of time. It's not going to control the outcome.
Right.
It's not. It's not going to. And how many people have said, "I worried for nothing.
Yes.
I
How
worried
much
for
time is
accident."
wasted?
Can't worry about it. Can't worry about it. So there's a tidbit. Surrender. Hands up. Give up to it. Give into it. Be done with it. Control the things you can't control.
That's crazy.
And listen, it's okay to say, "Oh well." Many more opportunities are going to come your way.
Absolutely.
Did you try your best? I'm sure, based on the people that I know, based on the people that are friends with me, my loved ones, family, friends, close friends, I know they have like-mindedness with me because we tend to associate with people who have like minds.
Yep.
And that is when our children, even ourselves, we ask ourselves, did I do my best? I know everyone out there is going like this. Yep, I've asked my children that and I've asked myself that.
Yep.
Did I do my best? That's the best we can ask for.
Period.
Right? My oldest, she faced her biggest battle her freshman year of college when she got a C, her first C on a test. You would have thought the earth opened up, black hole said, "Come in, and I'll never let you out." I was happy she experienced it because now she was going to find some things about herself to say, you know what?
Yep.
This wasn't that bad. I didn't like it, but it really wasn't that bad.
Right.
Guess what she did? She found herself a tutor.
There we go.
She dedicated more time. And she also did something that was important. Guess what she started doing again? Started listening to her parents because we told her not to take physics and organic chemistry at the same time. If anybody is in their freshman year of college or have children in college, I know my friend Donald Fields has his son in college. I think he's going into his second year. Tell them not to take physics and organic chemistry in the same semester. It's a waste of time.
I took the easiest ones I could in freshman year, and I still didn't want to go to class.
You still want to go to class.
No.
But my point is this. No matter how much she worried about it, it didn't change anything. It happened. She got the C.
Yep.
And then she focused on doing things better. You know, in terms of getting a tutor and things like that. So, you know, my uncle said something about positive energy.
Let's look at that.
Positive energy. Man, it's... So, I'm going to tell on myself.
Come on.
We have to be careful. Positive, we're going to attract certain things, right? You know, there's something to be said about the law of attraction. I don't know much about it. I'm going to read on it. Maybe we're going to present it here.
Mosquitoes. I'm going to just give you a good segue.
Okay.
I was outside today working on my pool, sweating. Just before we started.
Okay.
Those mosquitoes could smell me a mile away. Law of attraction. Prepare yourself in a manner that will attract the things that you want to attract, and they will come. I didn't want the mosquitoes, don't get me wrong, but when I was sweating, that's what I attract. If I've got that ugly energy, I'm attracting ugly things.
I'm going to tell on myself.
Come on.
In high school, I had to just, I had this grim look on my face the whole time. There were many reasons for it. I understood where I was. But a friend of mine told me, his name is Donald Fields. I think he's watching tonight. He said, man, I would have talked to you the first semester of high school. I said, well, why didn't you? He said, man, you were not approachable.
Oh, man.
You always had this scowl on your face.
Yeah.
I was embarrassed.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I could have had a friend. but to this day, he's a good friend of mine. But he told me, he said, you had this ugly look on your face. You were not approachable. So, and I didn't realize it. Worrying will change the contortion of your face. You may not be approachable.
Yep.
You'll be harsh. You'll be short. You'll be curt in your language. And most of the time, you're going to be curt with yourself. Like, you just feel agitated.
Yep.
Right? So understand, positive energy is important. Got up today. Some people may have complained about the weather being 45 degrees. It was awesome. You want to know why it was awesome? The sun was out. It was a little cool. It's my favorite time to go for a run when it's like 48 degrees. I'm sweating, and what is that when it comes off your head when it's hot? What's
Steam.
it called? the steam.
Oh, you look mean.
No, I was looking good.
Yeah.
I
So
was
you
looking
look
good.
mean, man.
I looked like I had put forth some energy. I was ready
You
for
could have
the
been a
day.
poster picture.
I was the poster picture for positivity this
Come
week.
on, baby. Come on.
And I was ready for work, jumped in the shower, I told my wife, that was an awesome run. It projected me into my day.
Yeah.
It projected me into my day. Just that positive mindset. My wife and my daughter, Stacy in particular, their positive energy. I know when things are going good with them. Want to know why? Is when I hear music. Stacy will sing the music and Amy will listen to music. That's when they're putting off their positive energy.
Yeah.
I don't think they know that they're engaging in their own intervention. It's important for you to know what things in your life feel good for you, that are good for you. I think one of the things that are probably good for my uncle, I'm going to kind of tell on him, is bike riding, because he took a bike ride a couple years ago. Now I see all these Facebooks of him with these big smiles and bike riding. So I wonder if
Which
he
uncle
knows.
is
Uncle Cedric.
Okay, Uncle Cedric, I just want to know if you wear those tight clothing. That's all I
No,
want to know. All right,
no,
all right.
he would not be able to bear the Warner name if he put on that tight clothing.
Because we can put a picture up here, man, just to introduce your uncle if you like.
If you do wear those tight clothing, we're going to post your picture.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
all right.
so just understand, self-intervention is knowing that exercise, we know, kicks in endorphins, makes us feel better. And understanding that those are things that we have to do. And it's okay to, you know when it's okay to yell at yourself? To tell yourself to stop it. To stop worrying.
Yeah.
If you have, I got another intervention for you. If you have a rubber band, put it on your wrist. Wear it. If you find yourself worrying, put a rubber band on. And when you find yourself worrying for a minute or two, you're going to pull it and pop it. It's called a thought-stopping technique. Pull it and stop it. Now don't come back and sue me if you hurt yourself.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about a light pull.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about a bungee cord stretched out 100 yards and pull. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just a light pull and tell yourself to stop it.
Remind you.
There's another technique. It's called, let me look it up.
You got to remind yourself. Miss Michelle, Miss Margaret, you guys are making great points down here.
It's called the clear button.
Clear
Button. It's called the clear button technique. You're going to open your hand up, find the center of your hand, and you're going to press on it with your finger.
We're not reading palms, are we?
Nope, not reading palm, not in palm reading.
Okay.
You're going to press on it with your finger, and you're going to count 1 to 3, but each time you count 1, you're going to breathe in. And then you're going to think of a color. So if you say 1, 1 would be red.
Yeah.
2 would be blue. 3 would be yellow. But in the meantime, because I'm talking, I can't breathe in, you're breathing in and counting at the same time. Okay? And you're breathing in on a 3 count. 1, red. 2, blue. So you breathe too fast. You got to take a slow breath. 1 red, 2 blue, 3 yellow. And then on the exhale, you're gonna stop thinking about what you were thinking.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, you're gonna be pressing. Practice it sometime. It's a great calming technique. Just to bring your day down. And listen, even if you're not worrying, you find yourself just kind of going through the day and you're working and you look up and you go in at 8 o'clock and you look up and it's 1 o'clock and you go, whoo! That's a quick, you just totally changed the way you were doing because you gave your body a relief.
Yeah.
Give yourself a couple more minutes. Go outside and get some sunshine.
Yeah.
Soak in the sun. Even if it's not sunning, the sun rays are coming through the clouds. You can still get some sun rays that way. Go outside. Take a deep breath. Take a moment just to appreciate the moment.
Yep.
And just be there in time.
Yeah.
Right? Another thing I want you to do. I love this one.
Okay, this is the doc talking right now, so you got to be listening right now.
My coach at Hillsdale taught me this. He says, I want you to visualize yourself. Coach Bill Lumber, visualize yourself coming across the finish line first.
Absolutely.
So you're going to visualize success. If you're applying to schools, visualize yourself moving into your dorm.
Absolutely.
Visualize yourself reading your acceptance letter. Visualize yourself reading your acceptance letter to a job. Visualizing yourself being done with a project and saying, I'm done.
Yep.
It's over.
Yep.
Visualize that. Because guess what? When you visualize something successful, you're not worrying.
Yeah.
Right? You have to replace it. So, going back to the song, Don't Worry, Be Happy. The act of not worrying is not enough.
Correct.
You have to replace it with positive affirmations,
Yep.
visualizations. Before you and I did this, I visualized us sitting together in front of a camera. I didn't know what that camera was going to look like, but I visualized it's going to happen. Because, there were times before I did, I was like, oh, man, I don't know if I want to do this.
Yeah.
I don't want to know if I want to do this. I don't want to, because I started thinking, what are people going to think about me?
Yeah.
What about people who know my past that know I did some ugly things? You know what? Got to go for it. I'm starting to worry now. I'm starting to worry. I'm going to move forward because if anybody remembers what my purpose in doing this is, I want to reach more people.
Yeah.
And so I'm doing it.
Yep.
Someone says replace with thanksgiving.
Yep.
Be grateful. Absolutely. Other night, my daughter laid down. We were watching something on the couch. Jeopardy. Man, these Jeopardy champions are awesome.
Yeah. They're
Wow. They are up there.
Yeah.
So we're watching Jeopardy and we're trying to answer some of the questions. We're fist pumping when we get it right. But we had a moment. I said, Stacy, what are you grateful for today? And because we started talking about this more, it's just starting to click and roll off her tongue.
Yes.
Right. Take an opportunity with your family, whether it's at dinner before you go to bed. Ask your loved ones what you are grateful for. It is powerful to go to bed thinking about something you're grateful for.
Yep.
You're going to have some good dreams.
You know what I did in my 20s? This is what I did. I would put on my best suit. I would go test drive $100,000 cars. And let me tell you why I did that. I wanted the feeling of the respect
Yes.
of a salesman
That's right.
that would call me sir at 20 years old.
Wow.
I wanted the respect. I wanted to feel what it meant like to have the finances to buy one. And then they would let me go test drive these $100,000 vehicles. They were in the car, of course, because I thought many times I would just keep going.
That's right.
But that wouldn't work. But what that did for my confidence was I got the taste of how I wanted to be treated.
That's right.
And if I wanted to be treated that way, I would have to succeed in that manner.
That's right.
And so it gave me something tangible to hold on to.
That's right.
It wasn't about money. It was about, someone said, desire to be a millionaire, not because of the money, but what you learn to become that.
Wow, that's powerful.
You don't lose that life lesson.
I'm gonna give another example of positive energy. He just tuned in, I believe, and that's Charles Wilson, good friend of mine as well. He's like a magnet when it comes to positive energy.
He is,
at times.
man. He is.
We catfish together. We go over to Canada, and we have these competitions. And I have to tell you, there are times I don't want to be by him because I'm like, he's gonna beat me because he has researched how to catch catfish.
Come on.
Are you?
Come on.
He's catfish.
See?
That man can catch some catfish. He'll research how to use bait. We call it cut bait to fish. And I said, okay, let's see who's gonna get the most catfish tonight. I'm thinking, oh my God, I hope I'm in the right spot tonight because energy-wise, he already had a 2-0 lead on me. He already had a 2-0 lead, and that came from his experience. Stud in college, 400-meter run. When he latches on to something that's successful, he's like a dog that just won't let go. He's laughing.
Yeah.
He know I'm telling the truth. He know I'm telling the truth. And you want to be by those people.
Yeah.
And I'll say this today, like I said it before. And that is, you're not in this alone.
No.
Join somebody.
Yep.
Get somebody that's going to be positive with you, that's going to push you.
Absolutely.
Anybody that's a naysayer, get them out. We already talked about those people
Yeah.
weeks ago.
Close that door.
Because you're gonna be a magnet together, and that person's gonna push you. But know this: you don't have to do it alone. Call somebody, call a friend, call a loved one to help you gain some positive energy. To someone to say, "No, you got this. You can do this." And again, we said it earlier: you may not win, but guess what? I would rather you go into it with positive energy than with worry. Because at the end of the day, if you don't do well, you're going to be mad at yourself because you didn't go in with a positive mindset.
That's right.
You're going to like, man, why was I thinking like that?
That's right. How you doing, Chuck? It's good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you.
I'm going to give Daryl some secrets to whoop you on catfishing, which includes buying...
He's already got a 6-0 lead.
No, listen.
He's been in Canada for the last 2 weeks.
It's called buying them ahead of time at the fish market and throwing them out. I just need to know the rules, you know? I just need to know the rules.
Well, we have to have Evan. They got to come with guts and the skin on them already. So mine cut up and filleted wouldn't count.
I don't know. Jesus just pulled them out, man.
Well,
I just don't know.
He's on a whole different level.
We only got a couple moments left. But I loved what you introduced today.
Okay.
Don't worry because it's useless.
It's useless.
It is absolutely.
It's a waste of time.
I just love that statement because it's so matter of fact. It's an absolute statement. It's just an absolute statement.
I'd rather you go in with so much confidence and with your understanding what your skill set is and that is your skill set's not over. I've said it before, I'll say it again. We are always in a state of evolving.
Yeah.
I'm a better father today than I was 20 years and 9 months ago.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So, Michelle talks about this dog grooming business that she visualized, and it came to fruition.
Great
But it didn't just come like that.
No.
It came with positive thinking. It came with support. It came with her doing her research, calling the state, getting a license. All those things came together. Things came together.
What comforts me is knowing somebody has already done it.
Wow.
That's what comforts me.
Great models.
Well, yeah, when I struggle, I'm thinking someone, we're doing the video. People are doing it 10 times better than us.
Okay.
So I know that we can improve. So we are evolving.
That's right.
And that gives me confidence. So I move from a state of insecurity. My lighting's not right. Are we presenting the content properly? Do we have enough visual effects and all that kind of stuff? We do all that kind of stuff. And we want to just make sure that it's right. But that's what cancels the insecurity out, is that someone's done it, and I'm going to learn from them.
That's right.
I'm going to learn from them.
Yeah.
You can learn from them.
And if you want to do something different next week, next month, next year, to make yourself better in whatever, visualize yourself doing. The way to do that is to practice it. Practice it. Call a friend. That TV show I watched the other day was Cash Cab. You ever seen it?
Never heard of it.
Oh, it's a fun show.
Never heard
It's a show. When people have a question that they can't solve, they have the opportunity to pull the cab over and ask somebody on the street. It's a pretty cool show. It's called Cash Cab.
All right.
But do that in life. If you feel like you're stuck, go to the internet. Do some research. Ask somebody.
Shoot us a question.
Shoot us a question.
Shoot us a question.
But understand that worrying is a waste of time. Positive affirmations are great. It's a way to, again, assure yourself of something that's going to push you forward. Because, again, worrying is a waste of time. I can't say it enough. But know that you have a lot to work for and a lot to grow into. And I just hope you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. I mean, there's nothing like, I have to say, people thought I was kind of sick in the head. When I used to train a lot, people say I overtrain. I said, I like it. I really like it. Because guess what? I want to be at that national championship meet. I want to have my PhD. I want the best job. I want the highest degree in psychology. I can imagine myself being in a classroom studying statistics, which was one of my fears when I was 21 years old. I had to finally visualize myself being in the class.
You can do it.
You can do it.
We love you. God bless you. We will see you
next week.
Next Tuesday. Take care.
Have a good night.
Share the video.
Bye.